Hello, I'm Keith Berner from Accu-Force Shop Dyno. We're here to show you our torsion bar tester we've designed. Basically for sprint cars, midgets. It will do a torsion bar from 26 to 30 inch long, 7/8 to 1.1/8 bars. We're going to install a bar into the machine. We do it just like in your car. We have right rear left front arm side on this side, and the other side would be left rear right front arm side. This particular bar needs to go in from this way because this is the arm side. It's a right rear left front bar. We just slide it through. Put our arm on first. Snug that up with our handle clamp. Doesn't have to be overly tight, just snug. Install our actuator pin. We have an actuator with a electric potentiometer here that measures travel. The load cell right here. This side we'll put the stop on. I try to put it as level as I can, downhill if anything. Same deal here, just make sure you got the clamp tight. It doesn't have to be crazy, just snug. And we're installing the stop, finger tight, back it up just to where there's clearance. It's one of the ways the machine understands where it's at on the load. If you notice, we use a touch screen to make this work, to actuate it. We have file numbers. This will hold up to 200 files. So if you're an independent or own this for your own race team, you could keep up to 200 bars in here without putting them anywhere else. We actually have a USB port, and so you could write it to a flash stick and keep it on your laptop. You can write as many as you want. You can do 200, start your files back over so you can keep as many bars as you wanted, just knowing different file numbers. USB port goes right here. That lets us write to that. So if we do the file, we can just open the file, go up or down with it, or put whatever number from 1 to 200 in it. I'm just going to raise it 1, hit enter. Now we're on file number 155. We can also put a description of the bar in right here. This is a 1025, so I'm going to go symbol 1025. I'm going to space this out because we had a different one in. Hit enter. Now it describes, and you could have added chalk stick or right rear or whatever you wanted. So now we're on file number 155 with a 1025 bar. We're making sure the two arms are tight. We are going to start to test. This is a 15-inch arm, which is the average length of a sprint car arm. We travel this 5 inches. The 5 inch of travel, from what we know, is kind of an average, like left front, left rear travel. If you think about your sprint car coming off the bars or off the blocks, and then from block height to ride height and complete travel at 5 inch is what we travel it. We've learned the first run on a sprint car or any bar, the bar does have to take a set, whether it's a brand new bar, a used bar, whatever. You're going to see normally the rates are a little low, and this split, this is the difference between the raising, what it takes to raise the bar, and what the bar has pushing back down, this split number. This is as important to us as the rate, but normally the split will be high the first rate, round 2. We typically tell people to run the bars at least 3 times. You're going to find the second time will usually average the bar out, and after that it just kind of repeats what it does. So our typical test is 3 rotations of the bar. numbers have come closer. The rate went up a little bit, it went up 7 pounds, and the split numbers came closer. I'm going to do it the final time. As you can tell from our demo here, the one thing people have liked about this is the speed at which we can test a bar, install it. The machine does the work for you. There's no zero, and it's all done, you know, that way on its own. So it's pretty fast. At this point, we're going to look at this bar and see the numbers, the split numbers, and the rate number. People always ask me, what's a good bar, what's a bad bar? A lot of it goes, you're going to see this change number football up a little bit. Usually the lower the number is down here in the bottom and on both ends, the more it, like if it started out at 4 or 5 and went up, like this particular bar goes 7, 8 and back down, it would be a really good bar. This particular bar is a good bar. It doesn't get any high numbers, or the split never goes into the teens. It started out fairly low. It's a good bar. It's not a phenomenal bar at this point. It's a used bar. We also look at the rate. We do have a chart, a graph you can look at if you want to switch it to the graph. We can kind of see if it's very linear. This one barely bows. Some of them will actually bow the other direction. Kind of gives you an idea how linear the bar is. Switch it back just by touching the screen. We kind of have been going off of, I mean, we want to look at, I usually pick out like 1, 2, 3 inch, maybe 5 inch number. I look at different numbers. I really focus in on this 3 inch number to see what the rate is. It's just kind of like the middle of the bar on travel, the way I feel. This particular bar is 5.15, it's 1.25 inches. That is very average. Right in the spectrum of what most quarter bars we see are. And that's one thing, you're going to have to just test a lot of different bars to get a feel for what different bars do. They all have different characteristics. Doesn't mean they're good or bad. You're going to have to determine between your race car, what you see on here, what's good and bad. The one thing I can tell you is, if this split gets up into the teens, especially at the early numbers, you probably got a bar that's getting weak. It's not as reactive. Also, if you test your new bars, you're going to find like this one's 5.15. If it got down into that 5.10, maybe 5.05 range, the bar is definitely starting to weaken up, and it won't be as good in a race car. So there's a lot of things you can tell. A lot of it is just usage that makes you smarter about a piece of equipment. The one thing you should be aware of is different bar rates obviously are going to have different numbers here. They also are going to have different numbers here. What we found is the stiffer the bar, like a 1050 bar, is probably going to have more split. Like it might be up into the teens, it may be and still be a good bar. A 950 bar might only go to 8, and it might start at 4 and be a good average bar. In other words, you got to be aware of what rate bar you've got in to begin with. The heavier the bar, the more split and the bigger these numbers, the change may be. The lighter the bar, the lighter those numbers are going to be. Be aware of that. For those of you that have a piece of equipment, the one thing I will tell you is this last run box, I'm going to run it here, you're going to see it change colors. It just changed to more of a yellow color from the green. Once we test a bar, because this is a touch screen that we use to make this operate, it's not like a computer, it doesn't have that much memory. You have to wait, like right now that's amber. If I was to shut this off right now, it would not remember this run. You have to wait till that box turns green for this to store that file. We could write it right now to our flash stick, but if we turned it off, it would not remember it. You do have to wait till that box turns green. It is a 5-minute wait until that will keep this data in its memory. After you're done, like I said, if you want to save it to the USB, all you have to do is hit USB on the window, having the flash stick in it. Come back up here and hit right. It successfully says it's loaded. I can exit. That is on our flash stick now. This is our piece of equipment. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it taught you something about the piece of equipment. Thank you.